Hi guys, it's Coach Rick Storlie, and today I'm going to be sharing some tips on how to get in front of more qualified leads. Again, my name is Rick Storlie, and I help home builders and remodelers reach their sales goals. I've developed a 5-step sales system that generates a steady stream of new leads. It creates value through education and employs cutting-edge technology to identify the leads most likely to buy from you. Plus, it's got my 20 plus years of sales and management experience built right in. So today we're going to be focusing on lead generation, and there are 8 different strategies to generate leads. Now in the previous videos I reviewed the 6 offline strategies you see on the screen right now. Now we're getting into the online strategies of virtual model home or showroom. That's your website, your blog, and social media, plus search engine marketing. That would include paid advertising and search engine optimization. Now today we will be focusing on your website once again, and we're going to be looking at the pages, how you would structure the pages on your website. And there are 3 different types, or I should say 4 different types of pages. You have your home page, an interior page, a contact page, and then finally a page you maybe haven't heard of. That's a squeeze page. So we'll go ahead and we'll review what each of these pages has on them, what they should look like, and then I'll show you some examples as well. So beginning with a home page, the first thing I like to look at is I like to get a video of your company on there. So we call this the builder video, and this is going to be somewhere around maybe 2 to 3, perhaps 3.5 minutes long, and it would include your builder story. There would be a testimonial or 2 in there about people talking about that have worked with you, and then we're going to tell people what they should do or where they can find the information they're looking for on your website. The other thing I like to see in a home page is what's called the blog index, and a blog, again, if you remember, that's a weblog. That's something that you should be posting on probably at least 2 times per week. So you're adding 2 new pages per week to your website, and what the index does is it shows what is new on your site. So the neat thing about an index is it always looks like your site is updated and fresh. Again, if you think of your website as, say, your virtual model home or perhaps your virtual showroom, think of a real-world model home and a real-world showroom. If the model home, let's say if the grass isn't mowed or there's weeds in the landscaping or there's cobwebs or light bulbs burnt out, it just doesn't have a very good appearance at the front. It looks stale and old. Same thing with a showroom. If there's old vignettes in there, or there's things are real messy or incomplete, people aren't very they're not really excited to work with you based on what you're showing them. So a blog index, what it does is it shows, hey, here's new, fresh, relevant content that we're putting onto our site. It's telling them that, hey, the content you're going to find on this site is up to the minute in real time. Okay, and then finally, we want to have what we call our call to action buttons. Now there's 3 things that every new home or remodeling prospect is looking for. Number 1, they're looking to get design ideas. Number 2, they're looking to get information on your locations or your service area. And then number 3, they want to get idea on pricing. How much does your stuff cost? So it's very important that it's real easy for them to find that information. So we have 3 buttons where they can go to find their locations, they can go search your design library and available homes, or again, this is find out what's important in your new home from a design standpoint. Last but not least, we have this little thing called the fold line for your home page. Now, a fold line is similar to when you pick up a newspaper. And in the newspaper world, they have what's called above the fold or below the fold. So the idea is this, that if you were a reporter in a newspaper and you got an article that was above the fold, the article would be viewed much more, read much more than if it was below the fold. So in the web world, above the fold means I don't have to scroll. So when I land on your web page, I want to make sure that the most important content, the most valuable real estate is above the fold. I cannot expect that my prospect or my lead is going to scroll down to find that. So what I recommend putting below the fold line here is what we call your search engine optimization copy. These are specific keyword phrases that are written not necessarily for human consumption or human reading, but more for the Googles of the world. So the keyword phrases that your prospects are looking for that would show up in a Google search. Okay, so that does it for the home page. Now let's take a look at your second type of page. This is your interior page. So on this particular example, this is a remodeling website. So we see remodeling services, we see photos, a service map, project blog, a resource page, about us, contact, and a home. So all of those outside of the contact and home page are going to look like this. This is what we call a two-column approach. So on the left here where the arrow is, this would be the main column with your content. So on a photo page, this is where all your photo galleries, or in this case it's an index page showing all the different types of photo galleries you have. Now if we move again to the other side of the page, on the right column, this is where we keep our lead capture tools. So the idea here is that we provide additional resources in the form of a lead capture on all of the pages that are most visited. Here's another way of looking at it. If you have testimonials on your website and you're putting them all on a testimonials page, your testimonials page doesn't get looked at very often at all. So they're missed. So you want to take and put, your most important confidence boosters, or what we would call lead capture tools, here on the pages most visited. Now this is a contact page. Okay, so a contact page, there's two main things I suggest you get on it. These are confidence boosters. The first one would be any sort of designations or perhaps third parties, organizations you belong to. So in this case, this builder is a member of the GHBA and they won the award Custom Builder of the Year. You can see they're also a member of the Better Business Bureau, and they have this as a little widget that shows hey, as of today, the date you visited, they have an A+ rating, and you can click on that widget and you can see that they're rating with the Better Business Bureau. I also like the idea of where you're going to put a team photo here. Again, the idea behind a contact page is that this is your best type of web lead, when they're going to give you more than just a first name, last name, and an email, but you're going to get perhaps their phone number, you're going to get their address, you're going to get information on the type of project they're considering. This is a really, really good web lead. These are going to convert much higher than, say, when you just get a first name, last name, and email. So we want to put confidence boosters on this page to make sure that this page is not what we call, it's not abandoned. So people don't go here, start to fill out the form, and then change their mind. So this is a confidence booster here. Now the other thing that I like to do is I like to put a testimonial on here. So this is an example of, I've got my confidence boosters right above. So I've got my association confirmation there. I've got my Better Business Bureau. And then I can put a testimonial. Now the only thing that would be better on this page for the testimonial would be a picture of the person, and I'd rather see a picture of the team versus a house at the very top. All right, finally, let's introduce the last type of page. This is a page that you probably haven't heard of before, but it's called the squeeze page. This is the type of pages that you're going to use to capture leads online. So a squeeze page has one simple goal: capture a lead. And there's a couple of unique things that I like to do on a squeeze page. Number one is, and this is arguable, but number one is that you can see I remove the navigation bar. So once you land on this page, the only way you can get off of the page is either hit the back button, or you can click on the masthead where it says Pratt Remodeling. That will take you back to the home page. So I remove the navigation bar because I don't want people navigating off of this page easily. Now some internet marketers will argue that you should have a navigation bar there. It's probably one of those things that's up to you, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Number two is, you can see in the bottom here, the second arrow, is there's what I call a spam disclosure. So one of the things that people are always terrified with when they leave their email address with you is you're going to spam them. So I like to put a spam disclosure on there to tell them that, I hate spam as much as you, and I'm never going to rent, sell, or otherwise share your information with anyone. Oh, and by the way, you can take your name off my list anytime you want, no questions asked. Now the reason that they're going to go ahead and give me their first name, last name, and email here is because I'm offering to give them something in return. It's an exchange. This is called a permission-based relationship. It's an opt-in. So we are exchanging information. They're going to give me their first name, last name, and email, and permission to follow up with them as long as I give them something in return. So in this case, this is a project cost guide. Hey, that's it for today for the types of pages. Remember, you got 4 different types of pages. You have the home page, you're going to have an interior page, you're going to have a contact page, and then finally what we call a squeeze page on your website. Next time we're going to talk more about search engine optimization and some social media, how to get more people to your virtual marketplace. Happy selling.